Hey guys, welcome back. So today's makeup features the 35O Shimmer palette by Morphe. This makeup look is just for the eyes. I've already got my base on. I'm starting out with a black kohl pencil on my eyelid. Any black kohl pencil will do. I'm using one from Lavera. This is a really creamy texture and it's really easy to blend out. That's why I opted for this. It's not necessarily the most long lasting, but because I'm putting eyeshadow on top, hopefully it shouldn't crease. But if you want something that's more long wearing, maybe the Rimmel Scandalized Kohl Pencil or even MAC's Black Track Paint Pot or Fluid Line, that would work as well. All I'm doing here is just using a synthetic brush by Morphe just to blend out and soften out that kohl pencil and just make it smooth on the eyelid for the eyeshadow to go on smoothly. I'm not too worried if I lose the intensity of the black because the color that I'm going to put on top is going to be quite intense anyway. And then for my crease color, I'm using the brown shades from Makeup Revolution Hot Chocolate palette. I just want some warm brown in the crease. And the entire look I'm going for is like a really warm, glowy, shimmery look. But all I'm doing here is just using another blending brush by Morphe and applying this into the crease just to create a transition from that black to a brown. You can use any browns that you have, any warm browns that you have lying around. I just had this palette, so I'm using the browns from this palette. And then for my eyebrow, for my brow bone highlight, I'm going in with the matte cream shade from the palette and just using the same brush and applying that under my brows with the main intensity of that color going under my arch. And then for the star of the show, using the Morphe 35OS palette, I'm applying that dark brown, which has a hint of a purple to it, onto the outer corners using the same brush that I used to blend out the black kohl pencil. And this is going mainly on the outer corners and just very slightly blended inwards. And then for the inner shade, I'm using this bronzy gold shade and applying that onto the inner corner using the same brush again, but just on the other side, and blending that into that dark brown. So all I've done is just flip the brush over using the darker shade and blending the two colors together. Now you could leave it like this if you want it really smoky and sultry, but I'm going to add a different color to this. Now I've just taken the first blending brush just to blend out the crease. I don't want any shimmer in the crease. But here I'm going in with a paler gold color and applying that from the inner corner up to the center part of the eyelid on top of that goldy bronze. Had I gone in with this color to begin with, it would have been too light. I wanted something a little bit more sultry, a little bit darker, but I didn't want it as dark as this. So going over that goldy bronze shade with this color just gives me the right gold shade that I'm looking for. But you could have just left it as it was before if you wanted it smoky and sultry. And then just making sure that that dark brown hasn't disappeared. So I'm just going back in with that brown ever so lightly and applying it back into the outer corners and just making sure there's no harsh edges onto that on my eyelid. And then to just brighten up the under eye area, I'm going in with the LA Girl Pro Conceal, and the first shade I'm laying down is Pure Beige. This is a very yellow based concealer and it does brighten up the under eye area, but if I just use this, it's too bright for me and it almost makes my dark circles come through. So I'm adding Warm Honey on top, which is more my skin tone but a little bit more pink in undertone, so that will counter any grayness that may come through from the Pure Beige. I'm just applying this over the onto the edge of where Pure Beige was, and then just using a duo fiber brush to blend that out. Like I mentioned at the start, I already had my base on, so I already have a corrector on from earlier and a bit of concealer. I've got my foundation on. I had a bit of bronzer on as well, so I'm just topping up the concealer, and here I'm just using the brush that I used to apply my foundation with earlier, just to blend in the concealer into the foundation. And then going in with the same brown that I used on the outer corners and just applying that along my lash line, pretty much all the way in. And connecting it to the upper eyeshadow as well, the outer wing. I'm not going to do a wing with an eyeliner, but I do like the look of the wing with the eyeshadow on its own. And then using the same blending brush from the start and just blending out that lower lid. I'm really enjoying doing this recently because it just gives such a soft look to the lower lash line. And then using the same kohl pencil as I used in the start, I'm just lining my waterline, and I'm going to tightline with the same pencil as well. For this entire makeup look, I've pretty much just shown you how I do one eye and then I do the other eye off camera. But if you want me to leave the clips for both eyes, please let me know and I'll do that in future. It just shortens the video this way. For the inner corner highlight, I'm using the same pale gold shade and just applying that onto the inner corner. So this is what the color would have looked like on my eyelid without that previous bronzy gold, had I just gone in with this color. I didn't like the matte highlights. Like I said, I just wanted something really shimmery and glowy for this look for some reason, so I've gone in with that same pale gold for under my brows. I just wanted that really bright pop under my arch as well. And for eyeliner, I'm using the Maybelline Master Ink eyeliner in matte black, and there's nothing special with this. I'm just lining my lash line just to give it a bit of depth, but I'm not making it thick, I'm not winging it at all. It's just a steady line. For mascara, I'm using my Nars Audacious mascara, and I hate this mascara, but I couldn't find my Bourjois mascara. I had to go in with like 6-7 coats just to get anything off this. But the formula, when it's drier, it's better. Just hate the wand. It's so sharp. For lips, I'm using MAC's Pink Pigeon. Now, it looked a little bit more cool toned than I wanted. It had a bit of, it looks like it's got a bit more blue on it when I've combined it with this look. I have worn it before and it's not looked so cool toned. But with this look, I had to go in with this plummy red from my Estee Lauder palette, just to add a bit more warmth to the lip color. False lashes would be amazing with this, and for some reason, my eyes are so sensitive now, I cannot take any lash adhesive. My eyes just water like crazy, so I've just had to stick with mascara. To set my under eye area, I'm using the Makeup Revolution Ultra Contour palette, and I'm just using the banana shade. This mattifies the under eye area and it's brightening it up. When you apply powder and you find that it's too powdery and it looks more dry into the area, what I do tend to do if that happens is go in with a setting spray, spray that onto a sponge and just dab that onto the area, and it helps. Now to contour my nose, I'm using a small contour brush again by Morphe and the same palette, the Ultra Contour palette by Makeup Revolution, and I'm using the lightest of the contour shades just to apply on the sides of my nose, applying it just as a straight line down from the inner corner of my eyebrows and straight down, and that's just slimming my nose down, well, hopefully a little bit. And I'm just blending it downwards, not all the way down, but just ever so slightly, so there's no harsh line as such when you look from the side. And then just closing it off on the tip of my nose. And then for my cheek highlighter, I'm using Colourpop's Electric Slide. Again, using another brush by Morphe. And then just applying this on the highest points of my cheeks and my brow bone and above my eyebrows. Applying the same highlighter on the bridge of my nose and on my cupid's bow. And then for blush, I'm going in with this shade called Parfait from the Sleek Blush by 3 palette in Pink Spirit, and I'm just applying this on the apples off my cheek. And with this, the look is complete. I really hope you enjoyed it. Do let me know what you think in the comments below. If you have any requests for any makeup looks, please do let me know. But for now, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I will see you all next week.